Before I begin this report, I just want to give you a heads up that this video will be covering a very controversial topic that's been covering the furry fandom over the past year or so. As you might expect, I might say something that at least one person or more will disagree with, and considering today's climate, I can expect some hate comments to come my way. But I just merely want to give you a perspective as to what this certain topic can do to the furry fandom, whether it might help or hurt it in the long run. But remember that in the end, these fur cons are all about all of us coming together, having fun, making new friends, all because that we have one connection, and that is that we are fans of anthropomorphic animals. Hey everyone, Spike here, and I am back from Anthrocon. I am tired, I'm exhausted, but overall I think things went pretty well. So let's start off with some good stuff that happened at Anthrocon. Starting with my Blue Jay fursuit Sapphire, who's gotten quite a lot of attention, and I'm glad to hear that. She has so many photos, she has a lot of fans, and I've been getting contacts from quite a few people. I wanted to know more about her, and I wanted to be her friend. So I am glad that people love her, and so you can expect her to be around for quite a while. And if you're wondering, don't worry, Spike is still going to be around. He'll still be with me. In fact, I carried him with me to Anthrocon this year, although he didn't really get much time out. So if he does make a DJ spot at any of the cons, you'll still see him around, so keep an eye out for him as well. The numbers for this year's Anthrocon are pretty interesting. We'll start with the charity for this year, and we've raised a grand total of $36,012 for the South Hills Pet Rescue. Now, it's not as much as it was last year, just a little bit short, but it's still a great number nonetheless. The number of fursuits in this year's parade went up just a little bit. Last year was 1,890. Just flip the 9 and the 8 around, and you see that we have a gain of 90 fursuits. So just a slight increase, but after looking at some of the numbers from the past few years, I think I can see what is happening. Now, in Anthrocon 2015, there was 1,460 fursuiters in the parade, which was a 10% increase from the previous year, which was at 1,326. In Anthrocon 2016, there was a huge increase in the number of fursuits in the parade, which now currently holds the record with 2,100 fursuits in the parade, which is a gain of 43% from the previous year. In last year's Anthrocon, we had a drop in the number of fursuits in the parade for the first time ever since they started taking record of number of fursuiters. It went down from 2,100 to 1,890, which is a 10% drop. Now, looking at those numbers, what I think happened was that because of that huge influx of fursuiters that came in 2016, the following year was more of a correction for that influx. So considering all that for the past few years, I think we are now back to a steady climb as we were before. The unofficial number for attendees for this year's Anthrocon was 8,407, which of course is a big gain from last year, but I find that a little strange. Now, I'm aware that there is a variety of factors as to what could have contributed to the nearly 900 attendee increase for this year's Anthrocon. It's just that for this whole weekend, it didn't feel like that there was that many attendees. Now, keep in mind that this is coming from a guy that has been to Anthrocon for 10 years now. Now, Anthrocon is usually private as to the specifics of their numbers, but what I think is going on is that there was more one-day badges than usual. That's what I think is going on, but until Anthrocon says otherwise, that's what I think happened. Now, speaking of the fursuit parade, let's talk about the tremendous amount of support from the people of Pittsburgh. I've already seen quite a few news clips of people showing how much they love us coming here, and I really love that. In fact, when I had Sapphire out for the fursuit parade, for the first time I had one of my fursuits come down and actually greet the people of Pittsburgh in the meet and greet after the parade. And as always, the shops, the stores, the restaurants, everyone in the area showing how much they love us and just coming up with their own menus and everything. This is especially great for the businesses here, considering how much money we bring into the economy of Pittsburgh. And I got to do a little bit of exploring after the convention. After the closing ceremonies was over, I met up with a friend of mine and we took the light rail over to Station Square, which is a former train station, which is now a shopping area. We got to eat at the Hard Rock Cafe, we got to see the city skyline, and we got to take a look at the Clinton Furnace, which is Pittsburgh's very first successful blast furnace used to make pig iron. And this furnace was used around 1859 until operations ended in 1927. So when you get the chance, explore Pittsburgh. There's quite a lot to do. So there are a lot of great things going on at Anthrocon. But let's not forget about some of the not so great stuff that happened. I'll start off with something that doesn't directly affect the convention, but is a problem nonetheless, and that is panhandlers. During the whole weekend I've been there, I have been asked for money 3 separate times. 2 times on Friday and 1 on Sunday. This was never really a problem for Anthrocon since they moved here in 2006. Now, I've been to areas where panhandling has been a lot worse, but it nonetheless makes it very awkward for us. In fact, there was someone right in front of the Westin who was trying to give out CDs in exchange for money. Now, I'm not sure if the Westin was aware of this problem, but it is a problem that needs to be addressed for next year. So there's a story going around that kind of explains what happened when I was using the toilet. You see, after I was done doing my business, I tried flushing the toilet, and for some reason, the water flow was very weak. Now, thankfully, it was only a number 1, but these are usually high-flow toilets, so I thought that something may be wrong. And it turns out that there was a problem, as some nitwit decided it would be a good idea to put a tail in one of the toilets in the lobby. This was the kind of stuff that got Rainforest shut down. We don't need this to happen to one of the biggest fur cons in the world. Now, thankfully, the situation was resolved pretty quickly, but it nonetheless gave us a black eye on our reputation. Now let's talk about the old classic fire alarm. Oh god, it's MFF all over again. Now this actually happened 2 separate times. Now the first incident happened on Saturday night. I was actually visiting someone in a room on the 20th floor when the alarm starts to go off and we are forced to evacuate. And of course the standard procedure, whenever a fire alarm goes off, all the elevators automatically go down to the 1st floor. So this means that we are forced to go down 20 floors worth of stairs. And the only thing that I was thinking of as I was going down those stairs was, Uncle Kage is going to be pissed. Now everybody thought that it was going to be a false alarm as usual, but Uncle Kage comes out and told us that someone was smoking on the 18th floor. And he has asked that anyone that knows who did it to go to the staff and tell them about it, and they may get a piece of a souvenir. He is out for blood, and as of right now, they have not caught the perpetrator yet. Now, it happened again after midnight on Sunday. This time it happened on the 22nd floor, but for some reason, my alarm only gave 1 beep and then just shut off. I don't know why. And in fact, my room wasn't the only one. There was several who said that their alarm just beeped once and then just shut off and did nothing. I don't think that this is normal. So this is something that the Westin has got to look into if they want to get up to code with their fire system. Well, I guess this wraps up this report on Anthrocon. So, hey, what are you doing? No. You are not coming in this video. No. We are not going to talk about this. No, get back. Okay, let's end this video before he... God damn it. Okay, looks like I'm going to have to talk about the elephant in the room. So yes, I am very much aware of the Nazi fur ribbons that were placed right next to the registration table this year. You see, when I came to Pittsburgh, I came expecting to just play some video games, talk with friends, talk about anthropomorphic animals, go into fursuit. But nope, someone wants to let us know that there is a boogeyman out there coming out to get us that are called Nazis. Now, I'll go more in-depth about this Nazi fur thing in a different video. But furries are grasping onto a problem that doesn't even exist! The stuff on Nazi furs has been greatly exaggerated, and I've been saying this over the past year or so. And I'm sure that there's going to be some hate comments down below just for me saying that, But just wait for that video to come out and I'll explain my logical side of it. But you see, I have to deal with politics every single day. Every time I turn it on the TV, every time I go on my laptop, there's politics everywhere. Every single day now has been illegal immigration this, Donald Trump that. All I wanted was one weekend away from that, and you can't let that happen. I hear this story so many times, and it's gotten to the point where I've just tuned it out. And you know what the darnest thing about this is? This is not even the worst part of it. I've been seeing stories of people taking these ribbons and actually putting them on people's hotel doors just to send a message to them. This is the kind of stuff that doesn't belong at a fur con. You see, these furries think they're doing something good by actually warning people about Nazi furs coming into the furry fandom, but they are actually becoming their own worst enemy. They're worried about people harassing them just for being LGBT, black, or whatever, when that's exactly what they're doing! Just regular attendees are getting harassed and intimidated just because that they have their own free will. You think I'm talking about Nazi furs? No, I'm talking about people who are either conservative or anywhere that is not far left. Heck, I consider myself centrist, and I could be harassed just for being that. I've even seen someone who has gotten harassment from the far left just because that they liked a certain German airplane. This is how bad it has gotten, and it needs to stop. Look, if you really are concerned that there is going to be harassment of a certain group or whatever, show actual proof. Just talk to the con staff. They will handle it. And you really shouldn't be worried about a Nazi being in a convention space, because if any of the conventions actually had one, it would be a huge PR problem for them. So I am just trying to say, relax. Just enjoy your weekend. There's nothing to worry about. Hey, I approach stuff logically, so in a different video, I will show you how you can prove to me that this is an actual problem. Alright, we got that out of the way. So now, how are we going to finish this off? So what is going to be my next convention? Well, right now, I don't know. That's because that I usually have FangCon up next, but right now it's kind of in limbo because they are looking for a new hotel. I do plan on Midwest Fur Fest if I can find a hotel, and right now that's proven to be quite a challenge. So I'll update my upcoming events as soon as possible, as soon as we can get all that mess cleared up. But in the meantime, I'll be editing some of my con videos and I will have them uploaded within the next few weeks. So till then, have a good night.